All right, a beautiful morning. You're welcome to Women's Corner. My name is just Blossom. I am excited to be here today. Of course, it's the 23rd of July, 2025. And of course, we're here to also learn to one of our own amazing success story. But anyways, to join and watch us live, you can download Gap's television app from Google Play Store, Apple Play Store to watch this program live, or you can actually subscribe to our YouTube channel at Galaxy TV News, or watch us through Facebook at Galaxy Television, or our digital channel at UHF 27. You're welcome again to be on board. And remember, if you want to be part of the show, you can go to our social media pages under the comment section of any of that and tell us how you want to be part of this. You want to share a success story, you want to educate, you want to inform, whatever it is, and you're a woman, you're definitely welcome on board. I'm not doing this alone as usual. I have my co-host, Patricia. Patricia, how you doing? Good morning.
Good morning, Rose Blossom. I'm doing so well. Good morning, and welcome to Women's Corner this Wednesday morning. Yes, like Rose Blossom said, this is where we share. Women come to share the success story, and these educators out there and help us to, learn from the stories that these women share. My name is Patricia Oromo Gabriels.
Okay, so we are super excited. I can just wait to introduce my guest. So today, my guest is looking fabulous. I already told her she pull up the dress when she's done with the podcast. So yes, I'm going to introduce my guest for today. Her name is Ayodeji Michelle, popularly known as Tish. It's good to have you. Good morning. How you doing? I love your smile.
Yeah.
Now you now see why I want to take the dress, right? You look fabulous. How's the weather for you?
I'm good.
So you like the weather, the cold weather?
Yes, I love it.
Mm-hmm. Everybody is loving it. You are sick. Go take care of yourself, girl.
Darling, you just told me to speak on it.
Because everybody's loving the cold weather. It's just you.
Okay. All right. Anyways, yes, we'll be hearing Ayodeji's success story pretty soon. But before that, and of course, I'm going to be reading her profile. But before that, let's quickly go for a break. And after the break, we'll be having our first tip for today. Remember, most times our tips are not only directed at women, also for children, for youth, and for everyone. Be you man or woman. Of course, we don't have product watching the program, so yeah. Anyways, let's go for the break and the tip, and we'll be right back to the studio to hear Ayodeji, Michaeloni's success story, and I, with Patricia. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Yes, that is the home fire safety guide for everyone. Like I said, sometimes tip is not just for women, it's for everyone. So yes, you're welcome back again. So I'm going to read Ayodeji's profile. Well, this is a whole lot. Like I said, they always have like 2-3 pages of profile. As much as possible, I'll make it very small. Well, Tish is a minister, and of course, she's the CEO of the Amon Gem Company in Lagos, Nigeria. And of course, she's fondly refers to as the self-esteem catalyst, which of course, she's a mental health advocate. She's a psychotherapist and a family therapist also too. And of course, she has achieved her works through coaching, counseling, and therapy. Now, she's also the founder of Fit and Fancy Hub for the female gender, Colorful Gems online course. Also, the president at Stride Single/Married Ministry, and the convener of Young Women in Ministry. Should I go on?
No. I just, when you continued, I was looking at her face.
You're wondering, like,
and then I needed to bring out all these things from her face.
Oh my God. Okay, so I have to really stop. Like I said, okay, let me read one more. Tish was a consultant at Right Move Consulting in Lagos. And of course, she has graduated over 100 set of students from her online courses of Colorful Gem. I think I'll stop there.
Yeah, please do.
Before they will view you after this program.
And then not just billing her, our time is running.
Yeah, our time is
running. Before we just be reading her profile and then they say it's all the time. Yeah.
It's good to have you. So all of this in one person, and you had the same clock that everyone has. That is the same time in the same 24 hours. Not like you had 48 hours in a day. So yes, we're interested in your success story. How did you start about first? What did you graduate with, and what was the switch for you?
Okay, you'll be surprised. I studied botany.
Oh.
Botanical studies.
Oh no. So okay, what surprise? we are. Yeah.
And yes, biology, botanical studies was my course of study. But along the line, I just knew, even while I was in school, I always can tell. People just come to me they have issues. I always have something to say about, things. And so when I got a job in the bank, yes, it's not about cost these days,
True, yeah.
Nigeria is shifting over.
So I got a job in the bank, and while I was in the bank, people were always coming to me. So my boss would say, "What's happening there?" During break, I'm just there canceling somebody. I just noticed somebody is dull. I want to know what is wrong with you. I always want to prefer solution, and so that got me so busy that my boss warned me. That you need to don't turn this place to a church. It wasn't a church. It was just the fact that I was interested in people's well-being. Yeah. And so along the line, I knew that I could do something in this, but I didn't know it could be professional.
Okay.
Yes. So somebody told me that, you can be a professional counselor. I said, really? You should have studied psychology. And so that took me back. I went back to school. I did my master's
in psychology.
I got some certifications. And here I am. I've become a professional therapist.
So you said something which is quite different from most of the, therapists we have. You said you're a psychotherapist. So tell me, why did you decide to go into that area of therapy?
Okay, so psychotherapy is talk therapy. So it's not the form of therapy that you go the medical line. Okay. Yeah. So it's counseling, but it's deeper because you have to go back to where it came from. That's where the cycle comes in. You have to be a bit of the nervous system. It has to do with the mental well-being. So you have to go psychodynamically. You have to do some mental exercise to get to the root of the matter. So you're not just counseling or you're not advising on the surface level. You're digging deeper, and that's what makes it psychotherapy.
Psycho. Hold on, psycho is madness, isn't it?
Oh wow! Oh wow!
I need to be sure, darling.
Is it because when you hear people say you are psycho?
No, so I need the public to know. Even if I know, they should know. Exactly. So
psycho is not, it's mental therapy.
So we're hearing from the professional.
Okay, so we're going to go deeper, but before that, I wanted to ask, what made you decide to choose that part of therapy? Because most times we just want to do the general counseling therapy, maybe be a relationship coach and all of that. Why did you choose that part?
Okay, so for me, I want to pick it from the core. Okay. I discovered along the line while I started just advising and talking to people generally that why people do what they do is more important than what they do. So most times you pick it on the surface, you advise, you counsel, but in digging deeper, you discover that it's not about the person prostituting, it's not about the person that is going into drugs. There's a vacuum. There's something they are trying to feel. There's an answer they are looking for, and they cannot just get it. So they take to coping mechanisms. Okay, so because of that, from my experience, before I got professionally certified, I decided to go into psychotherapy because I want to dig deeper into the reason why people do what they do.
Okay, my question is, since you've become a psychotherapist, has it been easy for people to really, really open up, like you want to go deeper? Has it been that easy, or people still withdraw? They don't want to talk to you completely. They don't want to bring it out completely.
Of course, we have people that are still withdrawing, but more people are willing to talk to a professional. Some would prefer to talk to a professional than even talk to their parents, their pastors, because they believe this person is more understanding. This person can relate with what I'm going through.
And not judgmental.
I can talk from the empathic side, not, like, why you like this? So it's been easier. But of course, there are exceptions where some places are still holding back. Like, I don't want you to know all about me and all of that. But with time, there's a part of psychotherapy where you break people. Yes.
Yeah, because I was going to ask, when you meet people like that, what do you do?
Oh, of course, we do a job, but it's longer.
It takes a longer
period of time. It's better when people come into therapy willing, aware of whatever it is. They might not know what exactly it is, but they are aware that something is wrong with me and I need help. It's better than someone that doesn't even believe anything is wrong. So, but we can break them. It takes time.
So you said something about digging deep. I'm sorry, we're already going into the psychotherapy. You talk about something digging deep, and my thoughts are, how do you dig deep? I just wonder. I know no matter how much you say, might not really understand it, but at least we'll want to have an idea of how you go deep to be able to, I don't know, bring out whatever was the problem so they can, say it or face it and deal with it.
So it's called intervention. Yes. So, let me cite an example. I want to be very relatable. You're just smiling every time you smile. And I let you know that you're not just smiling because you want to smile. Do you know there's a reason why you're smiling? So that gets you curious. No one has ever told you there's a reason why you're smiling. In fact, you've probably been jested. You've probably been mocked. Hey, hello, you smile too much. You frown too much. You're too abusive. You're this and that. But somebody is coming from the angle of, do you know there's a reason why you're like this? That makes me get your attention. The moment I get your attention, then
you can break.
So it's actually a problem to smile too much.
No, I'm just saying.
It's citing an example because I want to start squeezing my face now.
I smile a lot. And I have a reason for it.
What's the reason?
Yes, I want to know too.
Number one, I want to be younger.
Oh, let me start smiling.
That's good.
I want to look younger than my age. It's a form of charity.
Yeah.
True. I agree.
And smiling calms people too. My husband is there. Sometimes I'm just smiling. I don't come and kill me.
Right.
I'm just smiling like, I'm hungry. I'm smiling.
But you're smiling, and that helps your nerves.
One will calm the other. Both of us cannot be mad, So smiling is quite therapeutic. And so for me, I just adopted it to make life easy for me.
Chai. Oh, bless her. I will not only smile, I will laugh.
Like we don't always do that. We always do that. And sometimes I feel, I'm just saying for both of us, sometimes we'll sit and we're talking and we're laughing. If you're not careful, if you pass and we look at you, I'm just bursting to laugh. So you think we're talking about you. But trust me, we are laughing at ourselves because what are we even doing? Do you understand? We're just passing away time. Okay, like you said, it's a good deal. Then let's look at from the back end of it. Some people smile to cover up their fears, their worries, and all of that. Now, as a normal human being, I'm not a therapist. What do you think we can do for ourselves to help those persons who are smiling, but somehow you just feel like, nah, I think something is wrong. What do you do to people like that? Or how can you help people like that?
So you check the antecedents.
Okay.
Yes. Has this person been like this? Or the person just became like this? Suddenly. If you've not been smiling before and all of a sudden you take to smiling or you're just laughing, then we need to take cognizance of that.
Right.
So it's best when we know the antecedents of people. That's how we're able to help them. Someone that has been outgoing before, all of a sudden is now withdrawn. You no longer want to socialize. You no longer want to connect with people. When you know the antecedents, then you can offer them help. Okay. Of course, they don't have to take it all at once, but you just offer, because people love when they are loved.
Right, true.
Yeah, so when you show that love, that concern, of course, with time, you'll be able to offer help to the person. Okay,
so as a psychotherapist, what have you had any challenge dealing with maybe a client? What was it like for you? What was the challenge basically? I know we talked about one, you not being able to probably break into them or something, but both. I don't know if that was most challenging, but if you have something like that, can you please share?
Like I said, I've had issues with people that were not easy to break. Right. But for me, the most challenging part of my job is the support system, the people around my clients. So someone that needs help, might not know what exactly, but he or she knows that she needs help. But for those that are their support system, some of them come as judgmental, some of them come as rash, some of them come as not understanding. And so when you're seeing a therapist and people around you are like, what's wrong with you? What's wrong? So you're going to meet somebody to tell somebody the issue of your life. You think the person can help you. So these people make them fall back to relapse.
Yeah.
Or I'm with a client and the support system, the person I'm telling, okay, in therapy you have to do this, you have to do that. The person is trying to do that at home, and people around are like, oh, come on, come out, come and do things with us. So it makes them go back and say that all over again. So it's challenging for me when the support system. So as I do therapy, therapy for the client, I also try to bring in the support system.
Oh,
The husband, the wife, the family members, the
yeah.
parents. I mean, I've had a client that in the session, he said all his life he had wanted to do a particular course. And the father insisted that he should do another course. And he spent 10 years in the university. Because he was not just getting it. And the father said, you know what, this is what I want you to do. I'll keep paying.
Probably medicine alone.
Oh,
You know?
that's what
parents do.
And this guy kept failing. And the father kept saying, you know, and so in the course of the therapy, he said, you know what, I want to study computer science. That's what I love. I said, you know what, I got somebody for him, start training him on IT and all of that. And he gets back home. Because I knew that the father was the problem, I didn't carry the father alone, but I told the mother. But you know, in the loving, the mother spilled to the father. And so this guy fell back to square zero after 4 months of therapy.
Whoa, that all that happened?
Why? The father insisted?
Yeah, insisted.
You're not going to
Definitely.
do anything otherwise. It's either this course or this course.
So how did you solve that problem?
It wasn't solved.
It wasn't solved.
You left him.
It remained unsolved.
Oh, yeah, I think that's one big challenge.
Big challenge. You know, see how I'm looking at you.
Like, how do
So
you
how do you feel?
Yeah, how do you feel?
How do you feel?
I felt bad.
Yeah.
I felt really bad. I mean, I even on one occasion tried to talk to the father, and I was hearing things like, "Do you know how old I am? I'm old enough to be your father."
Yes.
Because I needed to protect my
own mental space
too.
Yes.
Okay, you know what? I cannot help everyone. I'm not Jesus Christ.
Of course.
I'll just do what
you
I
did
can
the best
do.
You did, yeah. But I feel bad too.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I wear your shoes,
I
I'll
wish you
feel
could
bad.
just-
For the boy, not for me.
Yeah, for the boy. But
For the father.
Yeah, also for the father, because
And that's also for the mother.
More for the
Well, why didn't she keep quiet?
husband is the head of the home. Anyways, I feel like I pray for the guy to be able to take the beating of his life and just keep running it. Because at this point, it feels as if it's his father that is running his life. Yeah. And somehow I feel like, the father expected some things for himself. Now he's using his child to replace whatever mistake, or whatever he has not achieved in life, making his child to do. And this is out to all parents. See, if you've made your mistake and you did not become what you wanted to be or where you're supposed to be, do not impose that on your children. Don't let your children erase your past mistake. They have their own lives to live. And trust me, if you guide them rightly, they'll become the better version that you never imagined they would be. I'm just putting that.
Okay, I saw a video. Thank you for that advice. I saw a video, I don't know if it is related to, or we could merge it together and say, okay, this is the boy's story. I heard the boy insulting the father and telling the father, I'm done with you. Give me a break. Leave me alone. You've been winch hurting me. I don't want you anymore in my life, and all the blah, blah, blah. So on the comment section, a lot of people said, don't say this boy is rude or insulting to the father. You do not know what he had gone through with the father. So in such occasion, what would you do if he comes to you for therapist?
Okay, so a lot of times, if we dwell on this, we will not live there. Because even the father, parents like that are also damaged. They also need therapy. But most times people like that, they are the hardest, type of people to offer therapy. Because it's tries harder to break them. They are called narcissists.
Yeah, very hard.
They are called narcissists. So when someone is a narcissist, either a male or a female, it's common in men. When a narcissist is in your life, you better run. Because, they're harder to offer help. They're not willing to be helped. And they keep damaging the people in their lives. So when it gets to a point like that person said, people would revolt. And I think it's best for people in their lives to revolt.
So he did the right thing.
He did the right thing. Than soaking it in and getting more damage.
The process.
Because if he's damaged, he's going to damage his own children.
Yeah.
And the cycle
continues.
True.
Wow. So we'll go for a tip.
We'll go for a tip. But let me just ask, this has been so intense with damage. Let's talk about something a little bit interesting in the profession now. What was the most striking that brought you smile that whenever you're probably in your house or you're driving or you're cooking, you just know like, oh yes, I did this one. The interesting story for you during all this time in the profession.
A lot of interest.
Okay, the most interesting.
I love when I help, and there was this very particular story of a client, a daughter, can call her a daughter that I helped, and she's flying. She's flying. I just spoke with her yesterday. And this was the lady I met. She told me that ours was not low self-esteem, it was low self-esteem. Because she was in a very terrible place. But today she's doing well. I mean, she's married. We're expecting our baby soon. And so that gives me so much joy when I remember, alongside a lot of success stories, but this particular one gives me so much joy.
I'm having the bombs already. Let me shake it out. Anyways, we'll see have Ayodeji Michaeloni in the house and knows the success story. But the next time we'll be coming back, we'll be digging deep into psychotherapy and of course to ask her how she birthed her company. So we'll be right back. Let's go for a break and another tip. I'll be right back to the studio to continue with Ayodeji, and Patricia. Stay with us. All right, welcome back. That's the tip for sleep and fall, avoiding that. And of course, usually when you know you have that, you could just go for first aid or go to the nearest health center beside you to get treated. Anyways, you're welcome back. I'll be continuing the program with myself, Patricia, and Ayodeji. Like I said, we'll be going deeper now into psychotherapy, although we've been asking questions about that, but now let's go a little bit deeper. But first, before that, how do I know I need psychotherapy, not just any therapy? How do I know that, okay, Blossom, you need to speak to someone about something, and how expensive it is to get one? Because I know that's one thing that Nigerians will first ask you, how much? So please.
Okay, so the moment you notice that your mood is getting so low, yes, low mood.
Let me come in there. Are you sure everybody's mood is not low in Nigeria as it is?
Oh my word.
No, just so.
We already said in Nigeria we need, I believe, especially Lagos, I believe we all need therapy.
That's why I'm saying there should be another sign, because mood right now, everybody's mood is down. Okay,
I'm going somewhere.
Okay.
So your mood can be down and comes back.
Okay.
But when it's continuously low.
Okay.
So what we call depression is actually low mood disorder, where you cannot just control being sad. Everything gets you angry. I mean, even when you're angry, something would make you happy. You would remember something, you would be happy. Everything that is supposed to make you happy keeps you sad. Because you see it and it reminds you of what you don't have. Do you understand?
Right.
Or it reminds you of what you've lost. It reminds you of a scenario, a particular thing that happened. And so it continues to intense sadness. Once you are in that state where nothing is making you happy. Nothing at all. I mean, we still have times when music can bring you out of, dancing, whatever. But at that time, when nothing brings you out, you need to watch out. You need to speak to a psychotherapist. And also when you are withdrawn, you mentioned withdrawn.
Yes, withdrawn.
You're socially disconnected. You don't want to relate with anybody. You feel no one understands. At that point, you should also speak to a therapist. At the point where you are just unnecessarily hypersensitive. You talked about the fact that you're laughing, you're laughing, and somebody just feels like they're laughing at me. Is that person that has a problem, not you?
Oh wow.
Okay.
You're hypersensitive. You just picks on everything. Everyone is talking about you. Everyone is wishing you bad. Nobody wants good for you. You need to watch out. There's also the part of edginess.
You're just edgy for no reason.
For no reason. You're just angry. But there's also actually a reason. It's when you talk to a psychotherapist that it can now, I talked about narrowing and digging deep
to know the reason why you're always angry.
It's not possible that you're angry and there's no reason. So most people say, there's no reason. I'm just angry. It's not true. With a therapist, with a psychotherapist, you will know that there's a reason why you're like that. Lastly, indecision. Yes, you cannot decide. Okay, let me do this. And that's why most times people that are dealing with depressive disorder, they take to very funny coping methods. Sometimes they just slip off. They're just sleeping. Some take to eating.
Mm.
They're either overeating or they're
Mm.
not even eating at all.
Mm.
You know, sleeping disorder, you have the insomnia
Yeah.
when they're oversleeping. You have the
Mhm.
narcolepsy where they're not sleeping at all.
Mm.
You know, so these are issues.
Okay, so
She asked how much, what's the
Yeah.
cost to get
Okay.
a physiotherapist?
Well, so it depends. You know, there's what we call the CPR, where we conduct a psychoanalysis assessment to know how long the therapy will take.
Mm.
I mean, for someone that has been intensely sad for years,
Mm.
it's going to be more expensive than someone that was intensely sad for, say 2 months, and you immediately knew that you need to talk. And that's why people should not allow these things linger for long.
Mm.
That's where even the support system comes to play. The moment you notice, I mean, remember the case of a woman that used to work at the particular company I don't want to mention.
Yeah. That committed suicide, yeah.
True.
If the people around, I mean, I began to hear stories about the colleagues at work, like, we noticed she just always withdrawn, she doesn't talk to anyone, she was not really relating like she used to do. At that time, they should have introduced her to therapy. You know, because the longer it lingers, the more difficult and harmful it is to the person. So we cannot fix it on a particular price. It depends on the severity of the case, the duration, and things like that.
Okay, so can you talk to someone as a physiotherapist through the phone, or the person must come to see you physically?
No, we do virtual sessions. I did sessions for people outside Nigeria, outside Africa, you know, so it doesn't have to be physical. We do a lot of virtual sessions.
Okay, so I have a friend, I'm sorry, because I have a friend that lost her brothers, you know, 2 brothers in 2 months. Okay, so she's been very withdrawn. She would tell me, I wanted to come out today, but I just don't feel like seeing outside. So I've closed all the windows and the doors and indoors. Do you think I should push her to see a therapist, or because she keeps saying she'll come out of it, she needs time to come out of it, and then if she wants to talk or play around, I'm the only one. She just call me, are you at home? Are you back from work? I want to come play with you. And even if I'm here, I'll tell her, I say, yes, I'm leaving now, go home, you know, because I just want to be part of those that could help her come out of it. But do you think talking to me alone when she wants to talk is enough, or I should make her see a physiotherapist?
So brief therapy is one of the highest form of therapy. You know, where someone needs to speak to therapists. Now, the thing about brief therapy is when someone travels, you know your friend is coming back. When your sibling travels, you are expectant. But in the case of death, it's a no coming back journey. And so the thought of this keeps breaking the person, the victim, continuously until we do there's a form of therapy that we do for people that are grieving, you know, that helps them to accept the narrative that the person is not coming back, you know, and you have to live with this. And irrespective, you know, you're still able to stand and go back to your life normally. You know, so I think the person should say.
Okay.
I wanted to ask a question relating to that, but I think you've answered that. But it might not necessarily be a grief thing. Some people just feel stuck. They feel like I'm supposed to be doing more, but they feel like I'm still stuck. But I want to do more. But I don't know, either maybe the avenue to do more, or they are even seeing the avenue to do more, but procrastination, fears of the unknown, you know, doubting, how am I going to do this? But they know they are stuck and they know they can be better than what they are at that point. How do you think you can get over that? Do they also need psychotherapy?
Imposter syndrome. Part of it. People are stuck, they know there is more to them. It's not a good place to be. Because you will keep seeing people doing more. And you've not even started because you feel there is more to you, but you're stuck. The solution is to start, but they don't even know how to start. You know, so such person should also say therapists do a whole lot.
Everybody, all of us. At this rate, all of us is therapists at this rate. We're like,
I'm telling you. And just yesterday, we had someone in the house, you know, talking about that we could actually be a mental advocate and all of that. And, you know, with what you're saying right now, I'm like, if everyone needs therapy, please help one thing do mental advocates, because you have to be healed first before you can heal someone else, right?
Yes.
You know, Blossom's question, you know, I want to carve it in another way. You know, I think some young people out there will want to hear me ask this question. Okay, so some people got a job probably when they left the university, and they know that this job is not not that it's not the right job, but they're better than the job. Let me put it that way. But this fear of if I leave here, will I get another job? Where will I start from? And all that. I know that a lot of young people are trapped in this because my daughter even said it. She said, where she works, a young guy came in, you know, they employed him 2 months ago. They're paying them in dollars, but he left just after 2 months. And when my daughter reached out to him and said, you just took this job and the pay is good. Why didn't you wait a little? He said, no. I'm better than this place. So I'm moving forward. Okay. So that's 1 in a million that took that decision. I know that there's a lot of young people that are trapped where they're working, but the fear of if I leave, you know, so how do they need to see a physiotherapist or this?
So you cannot take self-esteem out of mental health. And that's why I'm combining the two together. You get from my profile, self-esteem. Because I discovered that a lot of persons will not have to deal with a mental health issue if they have a balanced self-esteem. When you have a healthy self-esteem, you will not mind to move from a place that is abusive or that is not healthy, that is not adding any value to you. You are ready to move. You know, so when the self-esteem is healthy and balanced, you will not be stuck. And how do you, how do you make your self-esteem? You just need to change the light in which you see yourself. See yourself.
You first, change the light.
Yeah. You first. It's all about you. Because you matter to you than you matter to anyone. After you is still you. You know, so if you know that you have value, it's not someone knowing for you. A lot of times we wait for someone to validate us. I don't need someone to tell me that I'm talking and what I'm saying is making sense.
It's true.
And if it's not making sense, tell yourself it's making sense. Because the more you tell yourself, the more it becomes a reality. So a lot of persons need to change their self-perception. Once that is in place, to take that step will not be
hard. So easy.
So people don't get it.
We don't even know how easy it is.
It's easy. It's easy to say.
Wow.
I'm actually speechless with most of the things she said because I could relate to these things like day by day with what you see, even the lifestyle, even being at work, and sometimes you'd be like, okay, maybe I should be doing better. You don't understand, but somehow you just feel like relaxed. Okay, hey, I'm just good. I'm good.
I'm good where I am.
Like everything is going on well, but we can actually be better than who we are now. We just need to push ourselves and change the light. Is it from blue to red light? Which one? I need to know. I'm just kidding. Anyway, health is wealth. I always say that. And I feel like when our mental health is, okay, every other thing will follow suit. Now, let me come back to you a little bit. Now, what's the side effect for you as a therapist? Because looking at all these things you have said, you're hearing a lot of people's problems and you're solving them. How do you help your own self so it does not mess with your mental health? Like, is there any side effects? How do you go about that?
Yes, there are a lot of side effects. Behind the scene, I was just telling you, even the therapists themselves. So a lot of times I take breaks.
Okay.
I take breaks. I mean, there was a time I was off my social media page. I got a lot of DMs and even the strongest person needs to be encouraged. Needs strength. So I had to take time off. So yes, at intervals, I take breaks. So I don't break down myself. I also have a therapist.
Okay.
My therapist also has a therapist.
Okay.
Like that. So
I've said it before. We all need therapy.
Yes.
Okay. I want to ask one question.
Yes.
Have you ever had a very difficult task, in trying to talk to someone? It became very difficult apart from the man that you talked about. Have you ever experienced anyone that was very difficult for you and you were wondering, how do I break in deep to talk to this person?
Well, funny enough, I've never had. Somehow I just, of course I told you about taking breaks. So I don't jump at jobs. I take my time, I analyze. That's why we have the psychoanalysis. I analyze. If I analyze it and I see that it's not something I can do, I don't even take it.
No.
I don't take it. But the moment I take it, I must have analyzed and know that it's something I can do. And then when we start,
I think I should applaud you for that one. That's good.
Yeah,
Not having
very good.
anything you can break. That's beautiful. Okay, so one last question. Like you said, you know how to go about it, the effect, so you don't have that side effect and all of that. Now, for people who are coming for psychotherapy sessions, what should we be expecting? Because some persons do not know what to expect. And sometimes some persons will feel like, oh, she's invading my privacy. Oh, he's invading my privacy. So for people to know that this is what you'll be expecting when you go for therapy section. So get prepared. What are those things that we should expect when we're going for a session?
So a therapy place is a safe space. It's a space where you can be vulnerable. It's a space where you are not judged. It's a space where you can tell your story without fear or any form of bias or sentiments. That therapy space is a space where, you're talking to someone and you know that the person sees from your lens. And so we have trained ourselves, as I said, psychotherapists to be, the professional psychotherapists cannot be judgmental, cannot be biased, cannot be cannot be hard on people. You have to be very, flexible. You have to be very understanding. You have to see, and that's empathy. You have to see from the person's lens. So someone is coming to me and she's saying that I've aborted 22 times.
Okay.
And you go,
You're not going for mental.
No, I won't. Because I'll sit you down. What's wrong with you? How can you do that? What's wrong with you?
Can you imagine what she's doing already? And please go ahead.
And I said, oh, gee. You cannot even do that. But that could come to your mind.
Of course, yes.
There are times I've heard stories, I'm like, oh my God. But I dare not express it. It has to die inside. Because I've also, trained myself, even before I got certified. I've seen a lot of cases that made me know that people don't want to end up the way they ended. They found themselves in those situations. Nobody in our normal senses would want to abort 22 times.
Stop using that example. It's scary.
But when you listen to their story, when you sit with them, empathy will make you put yourself at the other side of the table and say, what if I was the one? What would I have done better? Because you discover that they were stuck. And when you mean stuck, people can be stuck. We're not talking about, oh, you should have tried this. There was no other way. What do you do?
I'm sorry to cut you because our time is already up. I just need to answer this. I feel I've seen so much online because, well, I'm not a therapist, but obviously those things get me so interested. I've seen whereby you see some therapy personnel that will tell you cry. It's good to cry. And sometimes when you come to them, there's probably a soft, subtle music and they are talking to you. And the next thing, just for the person to even talk, they are crying and they say, yeah, just cry it out. And they want them to shout. They say, shout. Anything you want to do. Is there another form of therapy?
You just said something that interests me now. Crying. Consciously releasing your pain. That's the acronym I give to crying.
Wow.
Especially men. I want men to cry.
Men.
How many are they here?
We have them here.
Cry.
Men don't cry. And they bottle.
They bottle up everything.
Remember, I say, what you bottle, you will bottle. That's why for research, statistics has it that men, more men commit suicide than women.
A
woman would consider my children. Who would I get on their wedding day? Me way so far now, me going.
Why won't they think like that too?
Men would not think like
they
that.
are logical, basically.
Because they are conditioning, the way they were conditioned, psychological conditioning. They've been trained to
be strong.
Man up, so it's a whole lot for them. So it's good to cry. It's good. I encourage people to cry. When you're coming to of course, I have a lot of handkerchief packs in my office. So when you come, cry. It's just that I cannot cry with you.
Right.
Because I'm not helping you by crying with you. A lot of times I cry when people leave.
But the truth is, anyway, I can't go into such because I will cry. I will even cry more than you.
Anyways, I think we have to draw the curtain here because
why?
I'm sorry, time is up, but this is interesting. Obviously, we're still going to bring back Michael,
yes.
And this time around, we're going to have a lot of story situations of people.
If you could even bring someone that you have,
you know, so we could talk about that so that a lot of people could receive healing via the section you'll be on. So I think that would be very much promising, just as today. But I would like to say thank you very much for being on the show. I did learn a lot, and it was fun, but very, very educative. That sign out, I should be doing that because that's a lot to process.
But quickly, how do one contact you?
Oh, yes. Interesting.
All right. So on social media, I'm Mtish Global. On Instagram, on Facebook, I'm Mtish Michael. And my website is shehills at yahoo.com. I have a program for women, wellness and women.
Wow. Maybe when next you're having your program, you let us know so we could actually say that so people can get healed. Anyways, I hope you enjoy the program.
I did.
It was fun with you. So I want to say thank you to all our friends who stayed glued. And of course, you have our account, social media, Hill is Mtish Michael Oni. So you can always follow, hit up, call her. Your number is displayed right there, right?
Sure, my number is
okay, so yeah, so you can call her up if you need to talk to her. And of course, just say you watch the Galaxy TV, she'll give you a discount, don't worry. Anyways, obviously, pretty soon on that is where we'll be talking about what's trending and buzzing on social media. Until then, my name is Rose Blossom. Do have a beautiful day. But before that, she said something. The more you bottle your worry, then the more battle you're about to face. That's a take home from life now.
Serious take home. That's a take home for me too. Anyway, we'll be joining you for the buzz pretty soon. Because I'm an ivy for you at the buzz. Pretty soon. My name is Patricia Orenu Gabriel.